Someone actually stole something from the hall? How'd they manage that? Whale only knows. Grimda's looking for someone to blame, though, so stay clear of her for a few days. It's amazing what loading a game save can do when it comes to populating an area with NPCs. Heyo folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. And when last we left off, I went to the Scrivener's dormitory when I was actually looking for a sanitarium. That's what I get for not properly reading the quest description. But I did find someone who will sell things there, reagents mainly. I also went into this house and discovered that this is a place for a quest because there's a door I can't unlock without a specific key, and I went into here that turned out to be a thief's hideout. I have a letter that I need to hand over to someone of authority. There's also the catacombs that I can go back to and keep exploring, but for now we're going to go into the Hall of Revealed Mysteries and see just what's going on. It would appear that there is a quest that I can get. Now, this place is...
I'd wager there are more than a few banned books in here.
Probably. This place is very large. There's a symbol on the wall there. Now let's talk
Yes?
to Fexa.
Hello.
The woman barely glances up from the tomes on the table as you approach. You're welcome to browse the stacks, but mind that you keep your voice down. This is still a temple, after all, and Grimda doesn't tolerate disorder. Tell me about yourself. She throws her broad shoulders back. I'm a scrivener and a devotee of Whale. It's my duty to look after our records and resources. Her chest swells with pride. Anything else? This is a temple? It looks like a library. Her eyes grow wide and round. That's because it is! Whale is the god of mysteries and answers, encryption and decryption, concealment and revelation. She raises her hands to the rows of shelves. Its guidance comes from the understanding of the unknown and the protection of hidden knowledge. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries was built to celebrate that. To think there's such a place in the Deerwood. Incredible! I'd love a glimpse of the archives. How many secrets must sit upon these shelves? Fascinating, isn't it? Temples dedicated to Whale tend to host vast stores of knowledge. We use that knowledge to unravel and preserve the mysteries of the world. Who's Grimda, though? Fexa speaks reverently. Why, she's the High Archivist. She's one of the most accomplished scholars alive today. Nothing goes on here without her knowing about it. Almost nothing, anyway. She scratches behind her ear. You should probably tread lightly around her today. Farewell. That's another hint
I'm
that
here.
something is going on. So there is a priest of Whale. There is a backer character.
Certainly.
Can't look at that, but we can look at this. The books on these shelves cover the history and mythology of Old Valia. The records of books borrowed and returned fill the cubby holes. There's also this here. Let's have a look. These titles all refer to Glamfatha mathematics and advanced geometry. The symbols on these pages writhe and shift. They're dizzying to look at. They're probably terms of magic. Nothing here we can look at. There's this here. The Travels of Errol of Levy. 2662 to 268. We do not know when they end. Now let's go over here. No entry into the archives without Grimda's permission. Okay, we cannot go into the archives right now. We're going to have to go find Grimda. There's Grimda! Keep searching! The obscured leaves clues for those who seek. Impossibly, this painted eye seems to move whenever you turn your back. Yep, that's magic for you.
Yes?
Let's go say hi.
Welcome.
An elderly dwarf surveys the stacks. Her skin looks as tough and wrinkled as a walnut. Despite her stature, she manages to look down her nose at you. You're welcome to look around, but let the priests and scriveners continue their search. She shoots the nearest rogue figure a withering glare. Wouldn't do to give them any other excuses. What are you looking for? Maybe I could find it. She sizes you up, stroking her chin. And I could trust you to bring it back, I suppose. She scowls at the rogue priests again. You certainly couldn't do worse than this lot anyway. Thieves made off with an ancient scroll of Whale. They intend to blaspheme by selling that which should remain hidden, a secret of the 100 visions. Her wiry eyebrows arch over her spectacles. The guards caught one of them, but were overzealous in their interrogation. All they could piece together was something about a farmhouse and the road to Deerford. Track the thieves down. I don't care what you do with them, but bring back the scroll. Whale rewards the persistent seeker, and so do I. An ancient scroll of Whale? There's a fine prize. I mean, a worthy task. What else do you need? I have questions about the missing scroll. Ask. Tell me what you know about the thieves. Very little, except that they were foolish to believe they could steal from the god of secrets. That, and they were fleeing to a farmhouse. It seems odd that a few burglars managed to steal from a place like this. Grimda huffs and squares her shoulders. Some secrets Whale keeps even from me. Suspicious. What's so special about this scroll? Whale is the god of secrets. If I told you that, I'd cheapen it, wouldn't I? She cackles. It's a parable, the kind that nourishes the inquisitive mind and poisons the foolish. How should I handle the thieves? However you can. Kill them, rob them, leave them. Makes no difference to me. She waves a hand and smiles grimly. I'll consider it one of Whale's mysteries. Let's talk about something else. I'd like to know more about Whale. Her smile reveals a row of crooked teeth. That's the rub, isn't it? Whale is the god of things hidden and revealed. The more of the 100 visions one sees, the more one has yet to discover. Though we'd often call Whale he who sees and is not seen, it is neither male nor female. To assign any definitive characteristic to Whale is to miss another essential part of its divinity. The 100 visions? A term of reverence for Whale's many revelations. Despite their name, they're infinite. Each epiphany leads to yet another enigma. Why did you tell me about yourself? I am the High Archivist of Hall of Revealed Mysteries. She coughs loudly into her fist. And I'm too old and too busy to be bothered with inane questions. Even just one or two? Connor sighs. Farewell. Okay, we have a quest. Retrieve a stolen scroll. And I think we're going to go do that right now. A farmhouse on the way to Deerford. We should rest in the tavern before we go. Seems like a good plan. Get all of our spells back. You never know who might need blasting. Luckily, there is a tavern right here. This is one of the quests that would guide you subtly towards Deerford Village. But we've already been there. So did you get in the dagger? What? No, of course not. Gordy's a nice kid, but March steel is expensive. He probably cut his fingers off anyway. And that was an exchange that we just heard. I can't talk to either of you about what I just discovered. What I discovered in the Thieves Guild. There's a backer character. I like the addition of the backer characters standing around because it shows that there's more going on in the world than just what you're engaged in. There are other heroes, other adventures that just aren't seen by you. Fleshes out the world a bit. Alright, let's say hello.
Greetings.
Could I get a room? I'll show you what I've got. Okay. Perception, resolve, dexterity, survival. Let's go with Ooh, I thought it was... Let's go with dexterity and survival. We'll rest here. A nice warm fire to soothe our aching limbs. There we go. We now have that. So. We will now head out and look for that farmhouse. I think I know where I need to look. I think I know. I'm also going to save. Saving's important. Always save. Now I think you haven't leveled yet. You're very close to leveling. Yeah, and so are you, but you haven't leveled
I'm
yet.
here.
This quest will probably do it. Presuming, of course, we finish this quest. They continue to be angry. This surprises no one. There is a cat. And there is somebody working there. Okay. This leads out. On the way to Deerfoot, we were told. So maybe it's the Woodend Plains. Maybe it's the Woodend Plains. Lord Bringwar attempted to deal with the angry peasants on his land with force. The show of cruelty inflamed the residents, and Lord Bringwar was overthrown and killed. I did warn him. I did warn him. But he didn't listen, did he? He didn't listen. Okay, there's a farmhouse here. Could be where they are. It is where they are! Oh ho!
Hey.
I was right. Okay, there's Ivan, there's a thief.
What?
Charge forward. There's a couple of them.
How may I help?
Hello, I think it's time for you to start blasting some missiles out. You do that.
Your thoughts must flow deep.
I need you to control this person.
Following your
You
lead.
start shooting. You shoot here. And... oh, there's a lot of them. Okay, that's you down. Excellent. You'll soon be under our control. Also, it's time for you to Grimoire Slam! That did something.
Yes.
Okay, you're gone. You have a gun. Start shooting you. We need to do this. So that we can just shoot you a bit.
Aye?
We're going to blast here. Like that. And they have a bear companion. Well, they're no biscuit, that's for sure. Okay, you do that. And
Your thoughts must
we're
flow
going
deeply
to
indeed.
do this. Bolster everyone.
I'm here.
And we'll just shoot you in the face. You're gone. And
Following your lead.
we could do a lot of healing, but I think distraction worms are needed. Oh wait, they're not needed. Everybody is dead. Well, that was a victory. Let's grab all the loot. Got some nice goodies there. Make sure to put these in here, though, because I don't want my inventory filled with that stuff. Okay,
At once.
and we'll check all this out. Ooh! A grimoire. Well,
You're
you need that.
quite friendly, aren't you?
So, take the grimoire. Everything else, though, goes in here. As you take the scroll, you hear a voice. You have found it. Now lose it again. What? You think this theft was an accident? The voice seems to shift as if the speaker were constantly changing age, race, and sex. My relics were never meant to stay in one place for long. They are meant to be lost and found. It is the search that gives a thing value. Take it to the Black Meadow. Find the drake that faces east, and bury it neath its skull. I think we just spoke with Whale. I think we just spoke with Whale. Not what I was expecting to happen, but hey. Give athletics 8, and we'll do nothing else. Right. Interdiction condemns a priest's foes, dazing any enemy in the area of effect. That is a once per encounter thing. Inspired Flame. The Faithful of Magran gains an accuracy bonus with sword and arquebus. Nah. An aggrandizing radiance. Everyone receives less healing, but the priest gains a bonus to all attributes. Nah. Interdiction, though, the ability to daze enemies around him, is interesting. You know what? I feel like interdiction might be good, giving him something else to do in combat. Yeah, let's do that. Interdiction. Now, when we do this, he has that too. And now, Grieving Mother. Grieving Mother we will give a point of stealth to. Ah, here we go. Going between, an ally superficially takes on the form of a spirit. Their movement is increased, and the many incoming crits, hits, and grazes are converted to a less severe result. Okay, so that buffs someone in combat by making them harder to damage. Wild Leech latches onto some characteristic of a target's psyche and drains it, granting the same amount of bonus to Cypher. Ooh. Not so great. Mind Lance, however, impales the target with a lance of pure force, inflicting major pierce damage to anyone in the line of attack, with a chance of causing an interrupt. Ooh, that sounds nasty. And then there is Body Attunement. The Cypher probes the mind and soul of the enemy target, finding the strengths of its defense and stealing them for his or her own. Drains a portion of a target's damage reduction, granting... We want Mind Lance. That is a... Oh, that's really good. Evokes a retaliatory strike, stunning an enemy whenever they target the Cypher's will defense. Oh! Oh, that's nice. Yes. A passive ability that just stuns people? Absolutely. So...
I'm here.
We can do the thing for Grimda, or we can do the thing for Whale. And honestly, if we do the thing for Grimda, we will probably get access to the archives. But if we do the thing for Whale, we'll get the God's Blessing. I get the feeling we want access to the archives at some point. I am torn. I do not know which is better. I think the best option here is to do what Whale wants us to do. And that is to bury the item in Black Meadow. And that involves going all the way over here and taking a day and 10 hours to do this. But this does have the added benefit of letting us finish another bit of construction in Caed Nua. Because with this travel, a supplicant has arrived from Defiance Bay seeking 500 copper or an escort. And the Bailey construction has been completed. If ignored... we could send an escort to get rid of them. We'll get Sir Spunty to do it. No, we'll get you to do it. There you go. We will escort them away. Now, we're going to build next. The Bailey has been constructed, so the next things we could build are things like the Forum, or the Training Grounds, or the Botanical Garden. The Warden's Lodge we've already got, the Woodland Trails. Let's build the Bright Hollow Lab. Purchasing this upgrade will install the lab inside Bright Hollow. Okay, so there's the skull. Right here. Do we bury it here? No. Somewhere around here. Is it that one? Got to bury it by one of these. Is it this one? Let's go to... under the skull of the drake looking east. That drake isn't looking east. That drake is looking east. Okay, it's that one. Let's go and bury it here. Yep, we can now click it. This drake skull faces east. The soil underneath is soft and moist. We will bury the scroll of whale. As you cover the ancient scroll with the last handful of soil, the shifting voice speaks in your head once more. Well done, Watcher.
Yes?
And we have done what Whale has asked of us. We have hidden the scroll. Was this the right decision? Maybe. Maybe. But now we have to go and tell Grimda. And I think honesty is the best policy here. I think we just go, we heard a voice in our head that told us to bury the scroll. But that'll be for next time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.